So where Wayne's decided he'd like to put the heater is up front here underneath the table and the storage area in the point of the trailer. So we'll have to check underneath and see what the bracing looks like and do a little bit of measuring and go from there. Okay, one of the first considerations before we start planning on where to mount the heater is what is the bracing for the floor of the trailer looks like, because you have to work around that. If you remember when I was doing the van, that created quite a bit of an issue. So this hopefully will be much easier. Let's take a look and see. Oh yeah, see that? Nice wide open place here. From the front of the trailer where the wire's coming in, we'll measure from there. Let's see, we'll measure from the point all the way across to where the beam of the trailer goes. And hopefully we'll be able to put it somewhere between that hole and that edge. That'll put it somewhere in that area there. And then the exhaust can come on out and go over toward the side of the trailer, out of the way and away from the door. Okay, I did some measuring. It looks like from this edge of the hole to the brace is about 13 inches. Held it out about 3 inches from the edge. So that means the brace is running something like that. So let's just take a pencil and give us an idea of where that brace is going to be. So now what that means is the holes have to be on this side or this side. If we put it on this side, that would cause a problem because he's got a brace for his table that comes down. The problem on this side is we don't have a really long exhaust tube to take it all the way to the side of the trailer. So now the next decision we have to make is which side of this brace are we going to put it on. Okay, Wayne's come to the decision that he thinks it would be better off to have the heater as far up in the point as possible, and I fully agree with him on that one. So what we're going to need to do is, here's the brace, here's the two holes we have to drill, and that means it could be something about like that. And so, of course, we have to set this upside down because of the exhaust and the intake. But that would situate that bad boy something like that right there. And right now, the only thing we got to worry about is the hole right here, so that he has room to take this cord and drop it through. And that was going to give him plenty of room. So that right there is pretty good. This brace is where the table leg fits onto. He said he can take it and make it where it'll fit up here out of the way, and that way we can have the vent any way that he wants it. So this looks like a good place. Next we'll have to do a couple test holes to make sure of the location, and we'll go from there. There's hole number one. Okay, that was the exhaust hole, and it's got to be much bigger because the exhaust pipe goes through there and you want plenty of clearance so it doesn't get too hot on the wood. This next hole, which is for the intake, it'll be right there, and it doesn't have to be near as big because, of course, the intake doesn't get hot at all. Okay, so then this will go just like that. And that should take care of it. Okay, may have to trim it up a little bit, like right here and here with this saw, and that will make it just damn near perfect. be able to bolt everything through. That opened up access to everything. That should be good. Okay, this is the exhaust here. That's why it's metal. This is the intake for the combustion chamber. And it's just a plastic type material. Or a real light gauge metal, maybe aluminum. Now we have to put the fuel line on right here. So that'll be our next step. Okay, that's good and secure. Now we've got to feed it all through the hole. That went in pretty good. Now we just have to secure this mounting plate. Okay, now we just have to secure this thing in place with these screws. Okay, for the next thing that we're going to have to do is plug in the controls. And it all lines up a certain way, snaps right in place. Then these wires are going to go through a hole that we're going to drill, and the red goes to the battery, the black is a ground, and then this bigger black is actually the attachment that goes onto the fuel pump itself. And then this right here is going to go right through there. And that goes to the fuel pump. And then Wayne, go ahead and pull that. All right, that's good. And then this is the connection that goes to the controls. We'll run it up to the top. The black wire is the ground. The short black one, here's the ground. That's going to go to the frame. And then this white one, white, colorblind, I guess. This red one that has the inline fuse, it will go to the battery, to the positive of the battery. And that's why we had to drill those holes so big, because all that had to go through there. Keep pulling. Pull on them all until they get tight. I've got a hold of them. All right, there, that's good. Thank you. All right, so what we'll probably do is run this bad boy over here and fasten it something like that. But we'll show you when we get her done. Okay, this will sort of give you an idea of what we've done underneath. This is the intake, that's the air breather, the filter. And that goes on up and into it. There's the exhaust and goes over and to the muffler. There's that hole that we drilled a while ago for the wires. And this is the big hole. Now, what I've done here is I took that angle brace, put it there, and I took a piece of heater hose and put it on here. And now I'm going to mount the fuel pump into that. And what that'll do is that'll make it real flexible, because if you hear that, those pumps are notorious for causing a lot of noise. By suspending it with this rubber, I think that's going to reduce a tremendous amount of the noise. So we're going to try it that way and see how it does. All right, you can see we've got this bad boy hooked up and ready to go. What we did here was we made it, put a piece of rubber hose on this bracket so that it's flimsy. What that does is that reduces the noise tremendously. As you can see, we've got the filter on it. And the way Wayne's got this set up, let me show you. Okay, you can see we've got it temporarily hooked to the battery. He's going to mount his battery box up on the tongue. And he's got a 3-gallon marine fuel tank for the diesel. And this way he can set the fuel tank underneath the front of the trailer after he's parked. Or if he wants to keep it inside, all he's got to do is run the fuel hose up in through the hole and set the tank on the inside. We've got it running now. Hear how quiet? Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So you can probably hear it. Check and see if it's warm air, Wayne.
Definitely.
Okay. And if you look up here, it's only started on its cycle. If you can look close, you'll see the 2 little green dots. Next, it'll turn yellow, 2 little yellow dots. Yep, see, it just turned yellow. There'll be another yellow and then 2 reds, and that brings it up to its full power. And once it gets to red, it'll stay full power until it hits its temperature setting. So here, Wayne, what do you think?
I think this is going to be great.
Okay, there you have it. The installation of the Chinese diesel heater in Wayne's multi-use cargo/camping trailer. If you like this kind of thing, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Later.